In this video, we're going to look at how you can monitor your SAP Cloud Integration with Figaf. And we have a number of different things we want to go through in this video. First up is we want to check how the CPI is performing. To do that, we need to deploy an iFlow on the infrastructure package. We want to deploy that. We want to perform test and see how the system is going. For Neo, we can also have CPU and memory load, which is a bit of a strange thing anyway. Then we have some ping information about the number of messages run, and we need to enable this on the agents. Okay, so let's first get started with this. So to enable this, we need to go back to our deployment here. We have this connector. If you have not deployed it, you just need to search for it in the system. We will say deploy here. It does not have any configuration. You can make modification or reuse the endpoint. And yeah, if you do not have it, you just go to Discover Integration, search for Figaf, select the connector, and then you're good to go. Then we go back to the Figaf tool here, and here we select agents. We select the new Neo Cloud Integration here. We enable monitoring. And then we have a job that runs every 5 minutes to collect data. If we go to this monitoring here, we can then see something has been running on the Neo, and we don't have any data yet on the integration suite. But what you can see here on is the memory consumption. You can see memory usage, number of messages that has been processed in a given period of time. So let me just pause. So this is what the monitor looked like on our old system, where we have added this data for a longer period of time. We can see memory consumption, we can see message latency. We can go back and see how it was and how it had been performing over weeks. The same with messages, so it's easy to go back and see how many messages have been processing on any given day. Yeah, it's not the most important part of it, but just to give you some extra insight. And for integration suite, we don't have these capabilities, but hopefully we'll see it later on in here when we're checking this. And here's the overview. So I think more important is the monitor. It's about figuring out how to deal with different scenario. Give access to specific people so they can see how your integration is running. Give user details to the business so they know it. And yeah, give them access to payloads or MPL attachment, and then drill down based on the data that we have. And this is the view of this, and that is all we needed to talk about. So let's get started. So the idea is here you go to the CPI message monitor. In here you will then select this the tenant. You go into edit mode. You select create filter. Get customer. You select what period of time you want to see these messages for, and then down here we can specify if we want to have it for some specific iFlows or all iFlows or a specific package. That means we can have all the data in here. We can add extra filters on just errors, etc. Now we can see there's 31 messages in here. We can see the details on this, and we can see if something has been processed or they were processed incomplete. So obviously this is a big screen. You need a lot of state to see what's going on here. So here, for instance, we have this order number 3. We can drill down and we can see the persisted payloads that exist for this. If we want to download them, we can just add or download them, and then we have the persisted messages for these scenarios. The same is obviously true for MPL attachments, and for data store interest we can also see the same payloads in this way. The cool thing is, yeah, we can obviously see the data, how they relate to each other here. We can give access to a specific user, so they would be able to see this specific tile for the data. And let's, well, we can go through this. So we have our user here. So we have a user management here. We have a user that's called Daniel. We can give this user access to this with payload. And now if we log into this in our Edge, so right now we are logged in as Daniel on it. If we go to the CPI message monitor, agents not configured. That's the wrong tenant. This one. So right now we select the monitor here, we can see we do not have access to other things than these items. We cannot modify it. So it's easy to give users access to it. As a business user, I can then go through this list. I can also export it and open this file as a CSV. And we can see here we're getting the custom headers, we're getting payloads, all these attributes that you want to use in your scenario to do correlation, to figure out which orders you have processed, etc. So it is really easy to get access to all of this data, drill into it. Do not save here. And if I here as a user, I can also just open filters. I have the ability to search for all the different parameters, dynamic documents, etc. So I can go here and add a document. Doc has a value of this, and then it will filter out all the different documents with this specific payload in, making it easier for me to monitor, drill in, selects only iFlows that has certain criteria. So I have all the filtering capabilities that I would need for managing something like this. And yeah, I can export it, and I have the ability to view the payload. So even though I'm not an administrator, I can view this safely. Good. So that was the monitoring, giving you a way to view what's going on quite easily. Then we have the alerting, and alerting is enable you to figure out how something, what something has failed, enable you to trigger specific messages to be sent if these errors occur, and being able to filter requests. And then yeah, you can send webhooks or you can send emails with this information. We did build a restart process, but I think it is not the best way to deal with something like this. Now I guess you want to use GMS to resend messages in, but this is here. And yeah, to set it up you need to go to the configuration and set up emails if you want to send data out of it. Okay, so let's see how we can actually set this up and how this would actually work. So we go back. Here we go to our support tool. Here we can then create a new consumer for our Neo. We can create multiple ones. So we come as a default one that's called failed, but you can use all of the OData search criteria in here to search for items that has a specific receiver or something like that. And then we need to enable a job that fetches these data. And now, yeah, we can then select this one, pull alerts to see all the different messages that has failed in this period of time. So it found a lot of errors. No new alerts has been found. Let's go back in time. And obviously this is only using the OData criteria, so we cannot see everything that is going on in all different problems. So we can see here we got something about an iFlow that needed a script collection, but the script connection is not available. And we can easily just say, hey, we don't really want to deal with this. So we create a new rule here that says if this ideally you want to remove it if you can. The idea here is that if you have errors that occur again and again, you can easily go in and block them and say, okay, don't worry about these ones. We can set up, do we want to mute this for a period of time? What message do we want to deal with? We can set what we should do with this criticality. We can add label to these specific messages depending on what kind of scenario we are dealing with, how they work. And attachments, that if we should also set attachments or include attachments, payloads, we can set up the emails that should be going out. If we have webhooks, we can add them here. We can test the message. See, this is what the message would look like if we needed to send this up. And then we have ignored for 60 minutes. That will just say, okay, if we receive the same message with the same error text, then we will just ignore it and do nothing with it. So press save. So now we have actually created a new rule. And that means if we go back here to the tool, we can see we now have a new rule. The rules will be ordered in the step numbering. So number 1 would be executed first. It will see if it matched this XPath. If it does, it will handle it and mark it as completed. And yeah, obviously it will only process this on new rules. And we can then update the status here to say these are done. Update status to done. And now we can see we got some other ones. So it's filtering out the ones that is done, making it easier for us to see what's going on. So there was a new error here somehow. We don't have much info about this one, which is a bit of a strange thing. We do have this one here. We can see we are getting an entry which ID2 already exists with customer. So there is some kind of an overlap in this one. And we can see here we are trying to remove some of the different attributes that could be duplicated or changed, and then we're creating a new rule based on this setup. Add a rule. So we're getting the XPath here. We can then write how to fix it. And then we have information, links, etc. to it. So it's an easy way to set up rules. We can specify what to do for these different scenarios. And now I need to log in again. So you can always update the rule, create more, and improve the process as you go along with this this setup. And you can see which rules it had found that matched the specific cases. So it is really simple to set up. Get email notifications using the the email set up, you obviously need to have set it up in here with the different emails that would need it to be updated here. So that was all I wanted to cover in this alerting or notification and supporting video, making it easier for you to manage your SAP cloud integration system without building too much new to deal with these things. And the benefit of having this flow is that you can easily trigger messages. You don't need to build everything into iFlows, making them more complex, because if they just fail, you can fetch the data here, send notifications to the right people. You can even send it to the business saying, hey, you created this order with purchase order 53. Please check it because the master data of something is not correct. So this is what this is built for. And then obviously they can also monitor it here, check the iFlows that they have, and deal with it in that way. So I hope you liked it. Otherwise, also check out the other videos we have in this series, making it easier for you to manage your SAP cloud integration and do migrations, etc. Thanks for watching.